Welcome back to my third and final video about ADD, hyperfocus, and what you can do to spot it and get the help your child deserves. If you haven't seen the first two videos in this series, jump over to my page, click on video just under the banner on the top of my page, and look for blog number 1, ADD and hyperfocus, when too much focus is cause for concern, and blog number 2, ADD and hyperfocus, going up the down escalator. Okay, we've isolated a few red lights that could very well indicate that your child may be struggling with ADD. A quick review of some points we discussed in the first two videos. 1. ADD can manifest as hyperfocus that can last for hours, coined attention abundance disorder. Number 2. The root source of many speech, language, and communication disorders is often an underlying but undiagnosed attention deficit disorder. But before we get too sure that our child has ADD, it's important not to jump to conclusions too quickly. All children, and adults too, sometimes display symptoms of ADD. Everyone can be more or less self-centered. Everyone fidgets, daydreams, and interrupts. But here are some things to look out for. Are these behaviors chronic? Is your child's academic performance suffering? How are their social interactions? Do they choose to play with other friends, or do they prefer to be on their own? I want to share with you a symptom checklist that any parent can use to assess whether or not they should have their child evaluated for ADD or ADHD. First, there are all kinds of questionnaires that can be accessed online. I find the Vanderbilt scale to be the most comprehensive. Before beginning the process of evaluation, it's critical that both parents and teachers are involved in the diagnostic process, since they've each spent time with a child in different settings. In fact, a neurologist who would typically administer the evaluation generally observes the child for only a short amount of time in his or her office, where the child has never been before. So the neurologist has no real baseline for the child's behavior. The new setting, coupled with a new person, can have significant bearing on the accuracy of the evaluation. If at all possible, I recommend that the kindergarten or school invite a psychologist to perform a more comprehensive evaluation of the child that includes observation during learning time and during recess. And now for your checklist. Here are some simple examples of ADD in action that will help you assess whether or not your child might be struggling with an attention deficit. Symptom number 1, lack of focus or hyperfocusing. ADD causes difficulties in regulating focus. Your unfocused child may answer, "I heard you," but could he repeat what you said? On the other hand, your hyperfocused child might be spending too much time playing alone. Symptom number 2, avoiding tasks that demand extended mental effort. Experience may teach an intelligent child that paying attention in class or finishing all of his homework is too much of a strain. No one likes to feel like a failure, so the ADD child may stop trying. Does your child tend to give up and not to try? Symptom number 3, mistakes. Planning and executing plans is hard for people with ADD. They so often make careless mistakes. It's not because they're lazy, and it's not because they're not clever. In fact, many people with ADD have superior intelligence. It's just really difficult to follow through on a plan. Try this. Give your child a 2-step instruction and see if they can concentrate long enough to remember both parts of your request. Symptom number 4, daydreaming. Many children with ADHD are loud and demand loads of attention, but many people with ADD minus the H for hyperactivity are quieter and more withdrawn than their peers. In the words of one of my clients, "I want to pay attention to the teacher, but I end up thinking about my daydreams." Staring into space and not paying attention to what's going on outside her head are red flags for attention deficit. Try this. When reading to your child, stop every few lines. You'll be able to tell if they're paying attention or spacing out. Cover the pictures in the book with your hand to find out if your child is really listening, as opposed to merely describing the picture they see. Symptom number 5, lack of organization. When the brain struggles to hold a thought, it's hard to remember what has to be done. Homework, school projects, and other assignments or errands are often forgotten. Or perhaps the child remembers what needs to be done but can't organize their priorities to make sure there's time to do it. Some tasks seem overwhelming and the child may not know how to proceed without an adult's help in breaking them down in the right way. How are your child's organizational skills? Symptom number 6, forgetfulness. It's tough to keep track of your belongings and schedules when your attention flips from one thing to another without your permission. How often does your child forget appointments, commitments, or lose their stuff? Like I said at the top of this post, everyone can be unorganized or forgetful at times. The question is, how often and what kind of impact is it having on your child's life? I really hope you found this series helpful. I'm passionate about educating parents and teachers, and I learned so much from your feedback. Let me know what information was helpful for you and what would you like to learn more about. Looking forward to hearing from you in the comments below, and thank you for watching.